know, people don't like to talk about it, but there is such a thing. There's a certain kind of practitioner who's got that certainty, that confidence, and they've got it in almost every situation. They're one of those people that either they know what to do or they're going to figure it out. The badass in the room. People don't want to admit it, but there will always be that person who doesn't need rules, doesn't need instructions, best practices. They don't need your permission to do anything. They can't be bought, they can't be sold, they can't be pressured, they can't be bullied. They're those people who have made their peace with their place in the world, both their bigness and their smallness. They're prepared to be both right and wrong all at the same time, and honestly, they have no preference for either, because it's not about being right or being wrong. They understand their purpose. They understand how to serve that purpose. They understand what matters in life and what doesn't. And because of that, they have a healthy relationship with fear. Unlike most people, they take their energy from fear. They refuse to be limited by their fear, but they are never guided by or controlled by their fear. And it's exactly for that reason that they have that unique, unshakable confidence and certainty. They're not looking for approval, they're looking for victory. They don't care about being the star of the show. Their job is to be in there with the team, protecting, helping, surviving. And to be honest, what they do is seen as risky, sometimes dangerous, sometimes even damaging. Sometimes there's a cost to having that much confidence and certainty, having the trust of a team. But you know what? That damage and that risk is so much less so than the alternative, the life of compromise and bending to the will of others, bending to popular opinion, to political correctness, to the latest fashion, the latest cause, to what the masses and the average say is acceptable and okay. Instead, they have a presence, a strength, a charisma, even though that's probably a dirty word now. And that strength, that charisma, that presence, it's not the absence of weakness. It's not the absence of humanity. It's not the absence of true authenticity. In fact, it's quite the opposite. They're a complete and total blend and ever-evolving balance of the range of human triumph and failure. And you know them, you've seen them, they speak directly, but only when needed, never to harm, to bully, or to get their way. But they won't hedge their words. They're not looking for any kind of acceptance, except self-acceptance. And they prefer self-acceptance to their attachments. They generally don't care how things go. They don't care who gets the credit. They don't care if the place where they are today is the same as the place where they were yesterday. In fact, they often prefer that it's not. And another thing that's a hallmark of the badass is that they're in complete control of their emotions. You know, some people call them the natural leader. And we don't want to hear about that. We don't want to hear about this badass. We don't want to hear that this kind of person actually exists, so we try to discredit their abilities. And precisely for the reason why they're so effective in the first place, because in any given moment, they don't have to try. But don't make the mistake of thinking that their talents are innate, because they're not. What they're doing when you see them is falling back on the depth of their hard training, their hard inner work, their ruthless courage, and the scars of their experience. They are on a mastery path that you may not even be able to see. But make no mistake, there is such a thing. That strong, able leader, the archetype, the movie hero. We like to pin negative qualities on them, like they're too unstable, they're too unpredictable, they're too few and far between. But that's because deep down inside we don't want to admit that such a person exists, and that it may not be us. These qualities are attainable, but not through the rigorous study of Scrum or Agile, because what happens if Scrum or Agile goes away? What happened before Scrum or Agile was a thing? This kind of leader still existed, the victor. And if it's not you, but you wish it was, good for you. Time to step up. Time to figure out what it takes. Time to make a study of those, the very few who have done, who are ahead of you on that mastery path. To be humble, to learn, and to step forward with purpose and courage and decide, make a decision that this is who you want to become. All right, guys, thanks for checking me out. You can always listen to this show on the new Shuffle app, where you can get social with me and tell me what you think of this episode. Meantime, you can always find us on Clubhouse. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube, where we're doing some new and exciting stuff there. Also, you can find us on Twitter at @badass_agile and on Instagram at @badassagile. I look forward to seeing you guys next time, and until then, stay badass.